All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you folks laughing at we partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, swinging, all that shit, dog. We sweating, getting wet, all that shit.
Welcome to the 101st episode of the Drinking Partners podcast. Yes, there are no athletes who wore 101, so we'll start over at one. My favorite athlete that wore number 1, Tracy McGrady, because he had a lazy eye, but he could shoot his ass off, and I never understood it. And I think somehow there's a metaphor for this podcast. Like, we have a lazy eye, but we still sound good. I don't know. Shout out to T-Mac. He wore this big-ass suit on the sideline once. That was funny. I don't know. I am happily hosting Tandem, Ed Bailey. I am joined, as always, with my co-host, Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on Instagram.
Right after 101. We did 100, now on 101, he totally forgets the lineup.
Oh, man, 101 episodes. We are Drinking Partners. And if you're looking for us, you can find us at epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at partnerspod. You can find us on Google Play,
iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play. We are Googleable.
Under Drinking Partners.
Shout out to Dave Bracey for almost showing up. This is a 2 of 3. So this is we're in the middle. We're sandwiched in between recording 2 other podcasts. Day has gone off and done some illicit things. I was sitting in here watching my daughter paint nothing while he did it. So that makes my day feel even much more like shit. But yes, we are here and excited. Thank you all for listening, man. It's great to be on episode 101. That's crazy. Our last episode that you heard was us down at Pittsburgh Playwrights Theater recording our 100th episode. Shout out to them. Shout out to everyone who came. Apis.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy because we recorded it and then we didn't drop it. And now, yeah, you're listening to it at home and we're like a whole month separated. But
yeah.
But thank you, everybody that made that happen, man. All the sponsors, Bloom Brew, Shoe Brew,
I think I named the rest of them.
Word.
We had T-Robe doing comedy.
Yeah.
We had John
Shuck.
Fetterman, Baron Batch, Rick C. back in there as guest. Dom Shuck on the ones and twos. Is he on ones and twos? He's not on ones and twos because he just had one. There's no turntables. Why am I even asking? Dom just making it feel like a real event.
True.
That's what he should put on his cards. I'll make your shit feel like a real event.
Yeah.
Somehow make that rhyme.
He adds the professionalism.
Shout out to everyone who came, supported, everyone who's been listening. We are here. We are drinking.
Yeah.
This is awesome. They've torn the wall down here at Work Hard, so we're just looking into this other room with a mop. So that
yeah, we're definitely under renovation out here.
Yeah. So
I want to because we're there's a green screen. Like I want Buzzy to like green screen us. Like
we should have sat in there and done the podcast, and it would be like floating on a spaceship or some shit.
Yeah, we could have done
it
in Hawaii or something.
We could have been homeboys in outer space, but funnier.
We got to make that happen, man.
We got to do something before this shit gets finished. Before they start renting that space. Before us doing it for free is an inconvenience to others. We need to get in there
before a schedule happens. 101 episodes, man. Love all the support. One of the biggest supporters that we've had on this podcast is in the room today.
In the room, he actually. They brewed a special beer for us for our 100th episode.
Oh, that Hundo. I've been hearing about that Hundo for a month straight.
I've been hit up about where can I find Hundo. Yeah. And here's why. Because it's a cognac beer, man. You gotta have cognac in your life.
It tastes like the podcast, man.
I don't want
like the first episode.
I want to pause that because that doesn't sound right for me to co-sign.
It's not like you're drinking us.
But
you're kind of drinking us.
I don't even know how to follow that up, Dave.
But it's delicious.
Once we got on the other side of 100, we got weird, apparently. That's what happens. Our catalog got too strong. We done went Kanye on y'all. We done went totally left field. But no, on a serious note, man, this gentleman, he's been on like 4 or 5 podcasts, always been a supporter from the beginning. Like I said, he brewed the Hundo which he'll tell you where to find it because you got to get it before they're out. It's a phenomenal beer. We got Tom from Full Pint in the building. Say what up to the people.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, he don't really
Happy to be here.
Yeah, you've heard that voice before.
Yeah.
But he came along with a friend.
Yeah. We need to get you a chair, man. Like,
yeah, we got to get you like you're like the third drinking partner. We're the drinking trio.
yeah, it's true.
I'm honored.
People would fuck that up though. Like if we were drinking trio, they call us the drinking triplets because nobody gets drinking partners right. It's
No,
like, drinking
we're
buddies.
drinking brothers.
Well, you know the brothers. It's not brothers, it's brothers. It's the only time when you drop the ER and add an A, it's kind of racist. But no, we got Tom in the building. He brought his friend Chris Boles, musician / we won't mention your day job. Say what up to the people.
What up? Living.
Okay, he's going to be the Day Bracey of the guests. So we got Tom, who's the vet. He's me. Chris is Day.
Yeah, we'll be the inebriated.
They'll battle on the whose voice is deepest. Or me and Tom try to do
What
something
episode
positive.
are we on?
It's like talk.
We said 101 like 101 times already.
That's a great number of Dalmatians.
I didn't want to do Dalmatians.
That's all I was going for. That's the only reason.
I wanted to totally not have the term Dalmatian mentioned in this episode.
Take a drink
at all.
every time someone says Dalmatian.
Truth.
I feel like Dalmatians are the dog representative of this country. It's just all white with black spots.
Get that sponsor.
That's a manufactured animal. Like that's hey, we doing that shit on purpose. So Tom, tell us about the Hundo, man. Like tell us what it really is, because I keep saying cognac beer, and that's not what it is.
Well,
but I'm just so happy that you decided to allow us to put cognac into the craft industry somehow. Like,
first off, thanks you for thinking of us. Number one, I really appreciate you guys coming down to the pub, talking to us, getting ideas. See, that's fun. I hate shooting emails back and forth.
Yeah, that's
hey,
whack.
what do you feel like doing?
Yeah.
And then 17 emails later, you're done.
Yeah, I hate emails, man. Just talk to me face to face. Let's get this done.
Yeah, I think once you
done
get
in
a
an hour.
certain level of established back and forth with someone, we can drop the email. Like,
Yeah.
I know you too well to be waiting on you to check your email. I
Yeah.
need to hit you direct.
Then
It's
it goes to
real.
weird places
It's
and
real.
shit. Like, I juggle a bunch of email accounts and it might go to spam or into some weird shit. Like, let's just sit down for a minute,
I had a great time. Yeah. So it's a double red. Don't ask me what double red. Double's a funny term in like the beer industry. Double, Imperial, they're kind of similar terms. Both, 7.5+% beers. So we're talking a bulkier, bigger red ale. But what we did is we took oak chips and we soaked the oak chips in cognac, and we tossed those in the fermenter. And the rest is history.
It's smooth. It's a little heavier, like the podcast.
Yeah. Well, I'm smooth and your voice is heavy, so I guess that's like the podcast. So when making a what is it, double red or I'm gonna keep calling it cognac beer because that makes me feel like I have something to do with it. Like, what are you shooting for with taste with that? Because it's not a beer, it's not a type that I've heard of before. Like, what are you trying to get with taste?
Yeah, you definitely want to balance out like the booziness. Usually tends to balance out better with malt. Like you don't want to talk like you never really see a lot of imperial wheats. You never see a lot of imperial browns. Those types of things. I mean, those beers. I don't really think that they lend well to being big and malty.
Yeah.
So we're kind of thinking red, kind of like a little bit darker, a little bit. That's something that would be able to support having that. I don't want to say abrasive because that's the wrong word, but maybe distinctive flavor in there. Something that you want to be like, yeah, that helps to balance all that out.
To cut it out. Yeah, I mean, like that's because with cognac, like those, the ladies over at Cake, they made that Henny ice cream, and like it was perfect because I mean it was all the flavor of Henny without any of the bite, and I think that you guys did a good job with the beer was taking that cognac, like the essence of cognac, and cutting it with the red ale, and also keeping it heavy, and it was amazing.
Yeah, I definitely want to drink this out of a square glass, but I'd also be weird for doing it.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised. I kept thinking, I'm like, all right, I don't know how this is going to turn out. Because, the more, cognac is It's kind of a new frontier. I've never heard anybody do. I mean, granted, there's probably hundreds of beers that have been made with cognac, but I kept thinking, like, this is new. This is exciting.
I haven't gone to a bar.
I've never heard of a cognac beer. And I'm new to the scene, but
yeah, so am I.
I've heard brandy before. Like people use like brandy barrels and stuff like that, but I wouldn't put it past someone to do cognac, make up something that's not even barrel aged, and then like, oh, this was aged in a vodka barrel.
You got to meet a certain type of person to be like, yo, I want cognac in my beer. Like, you got to be really into cognac to be like, listen, I need you to make a beer with that. Whatever that Hennessy is, I want it in that beer.
I'm just glad you didn't come out and being like, yo, I want oysters in this beer. Or I want like
nah, we were cognac.
Some type of root or like whatever. I'm just glad it was something that was unique, progressive, accessible, something that people wouldn't be like, ugh, oysters.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's, and that's kind of like with the Henny in the podcast or whatever, like we talk to a lot of people and, that's what they drink. Like, oysters. We had that raging. No, it was.
We've had weird
pearl necklace.
The pearl necklace. Yeah, that didn't get a thumbs up on the
very
podcast.
Unique flavor profile.
Yeah, you got to really kind of be into it. It's not an everybody beer.
Yeah, I don't understand certain beers just because I don't understand how you think someone's going to drink a full beer of this. Like when we have tastings and things, I can understand getting a sample of like a jalapeno chive beer.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I can drink a small sample of that. But am I going to drink
potato beer? Right?
Yeah, like am I going to drink like 12 fluid ounces of that?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Ranch beer, and it's like I'm not going to have a sixer of that.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit at the bar and just be pounding these while I'm watching college football. Like this is weird as fuck. But to each his own. So thank you for making that wonderful beer. Thank you for letting us be a part of it, man. I think that's what happens when two small businesses put their heads together and decide to get fucked up.
Yeah, true. I think you started a trend. I mean, like that'll forever be the first.
Count us in for 200, by the way. Seriously.
Yeah. How have people responded to the Hundo?
Honestly, it's been like everybody I tell, I try to get that picture in their mind. I'm like, this is what it's like. And they're like, wow, that sounds really good.
Tastes really good.
Yeah.
And I can't get anyone to pull the trigger. I got one bar to pull the trigger on it recently. Up in Pine, of all places. He's like, I need that beer right now. So I put it on his order right away. I'm like, ain't going to let him change his mind a few minutes later. I'm like, sorry, dude, it's on the truck.
Listen, man, you need to go to Homewood.
True.
Go to Compton, go to any place where there's a high volume of African Americans. Like, look, we have cognac in beer.
Yeah.
You need to put that on tap.
Yeah, that is an automatic. When I took it back home, they were like, what? Yeah, let me get some of that.
Yeah, you got some folks in Cleveland who are waiting for it.
Oh, we got to get representation out in Ohio. I can't get people to call me back. We had representation. We lost it. Trying to get it back. They're like, oh, let's wait until after the World Series. Let's wait until after Thanksgiving. This year might not be so good. And I'm like, come on, man. Give us a chance.
Yeah, that's how it is. I mean, even in our industry, I mean, trying to like reach out and break that.
The club, the people who book the club, they always want you to email them in 3 months and get me back after this. We're booked up. And it's like, why 3 months from now? You gonna remember me? You're gonna remember this email? You're gonna be like, oh, that's the guy who asked about doing a weekend with Dale Hewlett. Yeah, I owe him this.
Yeah, I feel an obligation.
Yeah, like that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, we were saying that about the emails before. It's like that's the reason why when I try to get business for Full Pint, I'm like, yeah, let's set a date. I want to see you in person.
You have to.
Because emails are so impersonal. They don't know who we are, what we are. They don't know what the beer tastes like. They don't know anything about us. It's like, save that date. Don't email me back. And I hate hearing that.
Yeah, I feel like when you send an email, you're lumped into a group of people automatically. You're already classified. And that has nothing to do with the product you're bringing to the table. It's just how we remember you.
Yeah, I mean, face-to-face interactions, I mean, there's something to be said about that. I mean, that's why interviews are so important because you get to sit down with somebody and actually like have a discussion as opposed to, blank, correspondences, black and white. So
Now we have an interview to do here because Tom, you brought a guest with you this time. Like you're so comfortable. Tom's so comfortable, he's bringing people. Yeah, like yo, I'm gonna come through and I got my man.
I kicked my shoes off when I came in here. I'm like, let's do this.
He brought his man's Chris Boles.
True.
So
What up?
let the people know about you.
A beer for it.
Well, you gotta. Well, if you Tom and you show up without beer, I'm gonna feel some type of way. But like, so hold on, what did I do to you? We beefing? Like you are Mr. Beer. Like if anything, I should get tipsy with you sitting in my car. Like that's
That's right.
But don't drink and drive. So Chris, let the people know about yourself. How'd you get started?
For sure.
Or what
So
type
that
of music you
Hundo,
play?
real quick, that's double red. That's 2 times the red. I'm gonna pop one live right now.
Word.
We're gonna pop it live.
Oh wait, I haven't seen the bottle.
It's a different bottle.
I thought we could.
Notice.
I faked it.
I grabbed that beer.
You fucking. That's not how you introduce yourself to the people, man. That's the worst say what up to the people recorded ever.
101.
They would
That
never
say what
know.
up to the people.
The
101 on 101.
You misled me
hell yeah, fuck
on
yeah.
my own podcast. I was like, wait, I haven't
great
seen the
first
bottle.
impression. Great first
Dalmatian.
impression.
So you guys are here on a collaboration.
Straight up, yeah. It's called Living Color.
Yeah.
So what I do, we did the art crawl. Tom, Full Pint, they were cool enough to sponsor it. So they gave us a ton of free Full Pint. We gave it out. It was killer. And then we were like, why not work more? So they made us this beer. And it's every dollar of every pour, every bar that has it goes to Redfish Bowl, this art music company I work for. They take local artists, local musicians. You know, they're going to fund band tours. Send bands to Chicago, Nashville, Knoxville. That's our main connections. You know, the local art, supplies, band recording, give people shirts, all that kind of stuff. Do it out there. Just give it to the community. Cycle around, just pay photographers, high rates, everybody. So, way it works is I'm going to pop this case live. This is real.
We brought visual
This is
aids
not-
to the podcast.
I promise this is real. This
I want
is
you to
not
know,
a hoax.
Chris, you confuse me as a human being. I don't know. I don't think you're real. Like, I don't know if it's translating to the people. He kind of comes in. You ever see Chippendale Rescue Rangers? He looks like one of them a little bit. But then he fakes me out with
He
the
does.
beer. But he has like a suitcase or
He
something
does
that
have the
could
bomber
be
on.
good.
It's going to be great. You're going to love it.
I don't
You're
know
gonna
what's
love
about to happen, man. I'm trying to trust you, and
I'm about.
Got the glasses.
You're going to get some free shit right now.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'm going to reveal, like, boom.
Boom! Chris is
Off.
here now.
Oh.
All right, we're popping it.
He's popping it. Ooh,
So, what we got going on, the artist paints the tap handle. They make it real flashy, right?
shit. Okay.
So then once we tap the beer at the bar, that artist gets a solo show. They put up their art, we pair it with the DJ, we pair it with this, that, music, and we have an opening for it. And then, you know, that money goes towards paying the artist.
So different
Goes towards
artists,
paying-
it'll all be Living Color, but all of their tap handles.
Oh,
will be
yeah,
different.
yeah. This is Camo. He's going
That
to be at
makes
the Gold
sense.
Mark on February 16th, Thursday for him. His art will be up, will be DJs, all that. And it's all about different aesthetic.
Okay.
We got Sean Coffee at the Commoner, right?
Why you get the little tap handle? His
Well,
sponsorship package was.
No, he did
He
industry
paid-
as well.
He paid for the silver package.
The premium. They gave us their own tap handle. You know, it's different out there. Like some people, like we want a pig
no,
on
I'm
ours.
just-
We gotta have a pig on ours because why was that?
Bacon.
Bacon. It's a that makes sense.
Well,
Bacon
whose
place.
is that?
Someplace down in Washington. Bacon bourbon beer. It's pretty legit down there.
Ooh, bacon bourbon beer.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Stop drilling, you hit oil.
So for people who are a little confused listening,
Hell
basically,
Yeah.
they've collaborated on a beer, and proceeds from that beer go back into supporting small business, more or less. And there are a lot of people,
Local art,
local
music
artists.
community,
Well,
all that. Yeah.
we consider local artists small businesses.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
that's the huge thing here. So I mean, this is an example of small business giving back, and this is why you need to support local and support small business, because those connections lead to money for that community. You know what I mean? Like if you can go with the larger companies and shit like that, but they're not going to do this.
Yeah, it's microeconomics.
Yeah, they're not going to do this. Now, whose Rainbow Teletubby Joan is that?
That one?
Yeah, Tinky Winky.
That That's Elisa Jacobson. Like I said, it's all different styles. So obviously,
that's not it.
Hippie
When I
chick.
say
I like the handle.
Different kind of jam music, right? DJ music. This is a spray paint artist. They all have different styles, so it's gonna be different releases. Try to hit every genre.
Yeah, no.
Represent everyone
I think
equally.
all of the handles look dope, and I don't want you to confuse my jokes on the handle with me not making them dope. That's a black thing. Like black people, we make fun of the shit we like. Like you walk in, you got on a fly outfit, we
everything. Start
ripping on you immediately. Who's this fucking Don Cornelius looking at? Came to Thanksgiving.
Oh, Steve Harvey looking mom.
Black people like your shit. We immediately start riding you.
Oh, we think he cool.
We don't know how to say nice things, so we give you backhanded compliments. We compare you to someone who's rich.
It's like if I'm only nice to you, you don't know if I really like you.
Yeah, I don't fuck with you. If I'm only nice to you, it's because you deal with my job.
So tell us more about Redfish Bowl, man.
Oh, for sure. So it started about, I want to say 5 years ago now, real organically. I just took my buddy's art. I wanted to put it up. We put it in Delaneys Coffee Shop. And then people really took attention to it. They bought it. Other artists are like, hey, what do I got to do to get my stuff on the wall? I just put it up. And then from that, it just snowballed, accumulated into we're like, let's make a show out of it. So we started getting 40 visual artists, 3 bands, people live painting outside, Stoff Edison doing community, comedy, in between sets, performers, all that. So pretty much everyone does a little bit of legwork. It's all about community. Bring people together. So you got different networks, different friend groups coming from the band, different artists, different styles, and it's all over. So it gets this huge group of people together. And then you switch them out and you rotate them in, kind of like a keg or a beer, right? Yeah. So then you get new people coming in. People who've been last one know what it's about, and they keep showing up, and it just keeps growing and growing. We've been doing it for 5 years. Great. So the Art Crawl is one of our biggest events every year, and I would love what you were saying ever, local business, supporting local business, because that's what it's about, The Art Crawl is all, we focus local, like Threads, Glass Gone Wild. We had little art things all up and down from 9th to 26th. Everyone supporting each other. Coffee, tattoo shops, boutiques.
This is Southside.
Clothing shops. Yeah, it's Southside, but we do it all over, like Lawrenceville. We've done something in every major borough in the city. And now, thanks to Tom, they loved it. They were awesome. We're like, let's collaborate. Let's do this. And that's good for everyone. The bar gets new clientele. The artist gets to show their work, right? People are represented. The band gets in there, and everyone gets new exposure.
We've done 3 events so far, and each one has had 150 plus.
I think
pulling people in.
20 bars pre-ordered it, maybe more.
Nice.
So that's a lot of fucking work for me.
Trying to keep up with them tap handles.
And it's a set, buy a venue, some of it, Pints on Pen, that's smaller. So it's going to be acoustic kind of stuff. Porch, that's fancy, right? Goldmark, that's DJs. That's their thing, So each one has its own style, and we pair the artists with that. So it's not, no favoritism. You know what I mean? Every genre is respected and represented.
So what? Wait.
Yeah,
what genre of music do you play?
Oh, me personally?
Yeah.
I'm in 2 bands, so it's more like psychedelic.
Psychedelic? So what bars? Where's the Sykes? I want to go to the psychedelic
James
bar.
Street Gastro Pub, the Rex Theater,
Really?
Places that do that shit. Yeah, up and downstairs.
James Street's into the psychedelic thing. I've only been to jazz concerts there. I can see where you
that
do
is totally their thing. Is jazz, but if I'm doing something, I'm like, this is what's happening. You guys have established sound. This is what's up.
So I want to see the psychedelic bar handle when you get it.
For sure. Do we have that on there? He handed you the phone. There's already I want to say this is the second batch going out.
Yeah, we'll post. We'll post it on our various dips, and
we talk about visual things on the auditory medium.
Well, you guys got everything. You got audio, visual. You got liquor.
Yeah.
What else could you ask for?
Got my hands in everything.
Yeah.
I'm out here trying to be the plug.
Well, it's the internet, so if you're listening, if you're new to the cast, if you came to us by other means, like I said, we are on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Talk to us, and you can actually see all of these things that are happening, and we will also link you to these websites. Can you tell us about this beer, though, Tom?
It's an Imperial IPA, 8%, 100 plus IBU, Simcoe hops, lovely, lovely, lovely. As Chris so eloquently says, it's crushable, crushable 8%.
Tom knows
it's a crushable 8.
Take
very crushable.
That's such a man logic.
Yeah, no, it was like he knows the beer. I don't know anything about brewing.
No, he says it perfectly because it's so easy to drink at 8%.
Yeah, I'm already halfway through.
Yeah,
because that's what I was saying. I was like, all right, this is what we want to do. We want to make an IPA high percent as possible, not a fucking meal. Tastes better than Yingling, as light as possible, and you can fucking slam it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay,
no,
now describe that as a
is like
woman.
8% is a
That's how that
perfect.
sounded.
It's like the dangerous level. Because
I'm ruining that session thing with you. I'm pulling you away from that.
That it's because it's 8.
Dangerous level.
So like it's not like heavy like a 10. I mean even
too
9,
malty.
I mean like but it's also like you get 4 of them and you're like nah.
We needed a beer that was able to support this. I'm not going to go off and say, hey, here's a 4% beer. We want to charge like this much money. And then you're going to charge your customers this much money on top of that. Ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
You got to have a beer that has kind of like a little bit of a little oomph, a little bit of, high gravity is basically where I'm trying to get. It's high gravity enough that people are like, yeah, I feel okay spending an extra $1 because it's 8%.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, it's gonna get you there. Yeah, a crushable 8. It's a
Crushable
closet
8.
Everybody
like
needs
that.
a crushable
I like that.
8 in their life.
Yeah,
We've all had crushable 8s.
Yeah.
We've all, you know what I mean? Like you be out, you texting, you don't see your favorite beer on tap, you go to that crushable 8. You know what I mean? You go out,
That
you
Hundo
chilling,
8.3.
You can't pull the chick at the bar, you text that crushable. if she's an 8, you won.
Yeah.
I've had crushable 4 or 5s.
That's a winner, man.
I've had a super crushable 6.
Yeah, I have a problem going in and getting, like a 4 or 5. It just, for the money or whatever.
You're not drinking at that point.
Yeah, it's just like
Get a ginger ale.
If I'm mowing the lawn, I'll have a session. Yeah,
If I'm swimming. If I'm swimming, I have a 5.
Hey, find your beach. Have a Corona.
Fuck yeah.
Have a land shark.
That's
find
why
your
they
beach.
have that.
Yeah.
I'm on a beach with a 12 because I know I'm not getting in the water. If I'm on the beach,
True.
I'm just trying to deal with the sun.
Yeah. I'm usually under a shade. I don't do the just raw in the sun.
No, I'm covered head to toe. I got the towel over my head, towel on my leg. I'm like, I don't want to be here.
Do you put like
Just
shit on the tip of your
sleeping.
nose?
I'm too pale for the
Are you
sun.
tip of the nose sunblock?
No.
How come they never rub the sunblock all the way in on the tip of the nose? Why is it always sitting looking like a Hershey's Kiss on the tip of your nose? I don't understand that. I don't use sunblock, so
Like the breathe right strips.
yeah, like shit looks crazy.
No, I can't handle the sun. I can't. If I'm drinking, it's even worse because then I get dehydrated.
Yeah, I
I'm
hate
sweating.
drinking.
It's a dangerous
Fuck that
game.
shit.
Whiskey on the beach is a dangerous
Yeah.
game. I have lost that game.
Yeah, no, I've burnt. So like I'm too light for the fuck. Like I like nah.
I burnt too, but only outside of the United States. I've never sunburned
Australia,
in the United
hole
States.
in the ozone.
I had to go to the Caribbean to get sunburned. I didn't know what the fuck was happening to me either.
Ain't that the weirdest fucking experience,
I
man?
thought my nose was falling off. I was like, this is what happened to Michael. Oh my God. They attacked the base
Why
of your
me,
nose.
Lord? Why me?
Listen, I had a lot of reasons for why me. Like,
wow.
I've lived such a shitty life that I don't ask why me. I just point to things that this may be karma for. And then I eliminate that. Like, all right, I paid that back.
Yeah,
Karma is like Newtonian, man. It's science.
I went 32 years without ever knowing what a burn felt like from the sun. That's had been my relationship with that star.
Well, congratulations. Never get it.
No, it's the worst.
So how did you two hook up?
Literally from the art crawl, they sponsored it.
Okay.
And then from that was such a hit that like we just hit it off. And it turns out like Delaneys, that's why I met so many people through there. I can't say enough good things about them. They let us use the space.
Great coffee.
They're all about it.
Great coffee.
Phenomenal coffee. And he ended up doing all of his work there all the time. And we bumped into each other after the event.
It's true.
This guy right here, Sean Coffee, made a
Not spelled the same. Ain't spelled the same.
Yeah. Why?
Sean
He's got
Coffee.
Sean Coffee, Conray. Yeah, blah, blah. But he made a full pint sign that they ended up wanting because it was awesome. He does a bunch of metal work and like signs for local businesses around that. So we ended up making a bunch of button bottle openers and whatnot. And, they're magnets. So, like, little thing for local businesses. Like, if we made one for, like, you guys, it would be out there, you take it, and then they come. It's something to, like, you get something if you come here. Or, like, you get a drink token at full pint. And then you rack up a tab, and everyone wins, and the person gets a free drink.
So working with the music community, how do you view the craft community? Because it seems like a lot more inclusive on the craft side. Music, I feel like there's a little bit more cattiness. Because I guess you're competing for gigs and things like that, but they seem to work super together with craft. What's your experience dealing with both the music industry and then kind of now partnering with the craft industry?
There's a lot.
He took his glasses off for this
it's getting real.
Like,
it's getting serious.
Like, and he didn't just take them off. He took them off and flicked them. Like, that's what the fuck I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm glad you asked me that. I've been waiting.
It is. I'm so glad you brought that because I've seen this shit fail time and time again, over and over. Like when it started in Bloomfield, when it started here, and what always drove it apart was pretentiousness, which is what I'm not about and want to eliminate. People, they start their own thing like, oh, this is our little clique.
They get cocky.
They get cocky and they're like, we're better than them. We don't want to play with them or something or this and that. So what I want to do is overlap all genres. So thanks to Tom here, we got the craft beer crowd now. Like art, overlap with music, overlap that with film, overlap that with comedy, overlap that with performance, overlap that with craft beer. Bring a whole community together, let everyone do their thing. It's about like community hardcore. Like even look at Pittsburgh, man. Like people who are drinking the South Side, going on the South Side. You got your grocery store, you got all your bars, you got this, that. You're probably not going to go to Bloomfield. Everyone has their own little neighborhood. So I'm trying to get people, literally make a huge thing where everyone starts going different places. And this beer's everywhere, different styles, brings people to different places they normally wouldn't go to. Everyone wins. And like you were saying before, I was glad you said the extra $1. I don't mind spending an extra $1 for a beer. No. The best part is we price it at like what else is on tap. $6.50, everyone wins. No one takes a hit. I get the extra $1.
That's
Bar's
the
still walking
point.
with like if they pour it 10 ounce, they're getting like 700 plus profit. You're still selling what you're selling. I'm getting stuff to pay people.
Yeah. I mean, everybody eats, man. It's reoccurring. If you're
eats,
101 episodes, you know what I mean? Like,
feed the community.
It's truth. If we said it for 100 episodes beforehand, we're gonna probably say it for another 100 episodes afterwards, man. Support local, man. It's pretty dope what you guys are doing.
Local.
Yeah. Can we talk about the concept of a $6.50 beer? Because I don't think a lot of people understand that. I think a lot of people are used to budgeting $5 for a beer.
Oh yeah.
And just understand a $6.50 beer. I get it now. Like I before would not have paid for it, but now I get it. Like you could go out and I can now go out and just drink beer some nights, you know what I mean, and not drink liquor. Like it doesn't have to be a supplementary thing, or I don't feel like drinking tonight, so I just drink beer. Because that's what happens to those $5 beers. You get a Corona, or you get a Budweiser, or you real down bad, you get a Michelob. Just
what happened is
I'm just getting sadder. That list every time I'm just slumping.
Well, you do realize how sad you look swinging up on the chick at a bar with a Michelob. Hey, yo, what's poppin', kid? Like,
Yo,
nah,
what's
I'm
this?
not fucking with
You're
you.
like-
I'm lobing it. I'm out here lobing. You ain't in? But yo, $6.50 beer, man, that's not super expensive, and the quality of it so much better than anything you're gonna get for less.
I mean, it's like you said, it's the quality, it's the variety. I mean, if you enjoy drinking things, there's a beer out there for your palate. You know what I mean? Like there's such a wide range of things, and again, it's heavier. Usually like you can get a heavier beer, and you don't have to, like you said, go ham. So
Did you say hams?
You can go hams. Like you can have like 2 good beers, 2-3 beers, and you're there. You know what I mean? As opposed to 6, 7,
5 Paps,
Coors Lights, and you're still passing a breathalyzer
and just peeing a lot.
Yeah, just pissing nonstop, like all night.
for sure. I don't want to quote that 650. Like we work with a bar, like Belvedere's, all their beers on draft that are craft are 6, so it's 6 there. And like.
Well,
I'm
just saying 650 is a round figure. And again, when you start getting into craft, you do. After a while, like at first you don't notice it, but then you start to notice, like, oh shit, I'm paying more for beer. Like, so it is a culture shock in that regard for people who are getting into it, but.
Happy hour.
Hey man, I'm grown. I'm not just doing happy hour. Sometimes I need to have a drink at 8:00. You know what I mean? And not order Monday through Friday. You know what I mean?
I'm a 7
usually
a.m.
in traffic.
I haven't done 7 unless I'm on vacation. See, vacations I feel like you drink once you're awake. Like you eat breakfast and then you start drinking.
Yeah,
like, you ain't really concerned with lunch and all that shit.
That
You got
solid foundation.
Ain't nobody talking about lunch on a fucking vacation. You grab something to eat in the middle of the day, but you ain't having lunch. You drinking.
Truth.
That's all you doing.
Some chips.
Or maybe that's just me. Maybe I vacation wrong, but I be getting fucked up. And
No,
I go
that's
on
what it
like
is.
family vacations, and I be like, look, I don't know what the fuck y'all here for.
Yo, man,
Boy, I'm about to
as
get
soon as
fucked
I get off of work, I'm fucked up from then until I got to be back in that
I gotta
next
go
day.
pick up kids and shit, and they be fucking that up. Cause I be wanting to like smack a bowl in the car or something real quick, but then I'm like, damn, I walk into daycare all hazy and shit.
Open the door. It's like the beginning of a concert. All that
Yeah,
smoke
all the
coming
smoke
down.
come in.
Your daughters get in the car. It's like, whoa, look at that rock star girl. She's
Little
like,
kids catching contact, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's fine. Like, catch a little contact when you're a little kid, just to let you know what mom and pops is doing in the other room. Like, we need to be honest with these children.
Yeah, man. I feel a need to be honest with the children, man.
Well, thus far, I've opted not to go into daycare. Fucked up. I feel like right before my daughter, like her last day of daycare, I'm going in there super loud. Like I'm going in there. I ain't even gonna pick her up neither. I'm just gonna go in and see how she doing at like lunchtime. Like, she all right? All right, and then I'm gonna just leave. Because those workers, they be getting high. Like they just gonna be jealous. That's all.
Yeah. I mean, I think like you might need that at a daycare.
Oh, if you want to get a daycare, you definitely get high after work.
all the colors. There's like reds and blues. You're like, man,
No,
this,
fuck the
this
colors.
puzzle
Lot
piece.
going on.
Kids, motherfucker. Have you ever walked into a daycare?
I used to be a teacher, man.
Man,
Yo,
that
yeah,
shit
we got-
is
by the way,
crazy.
double teacher.
every like elementary teacher that I know, every elementary teacher that I know smokes fucking weed.
What's
goddamn-
up? What's up?
Every last one that I know.
Don't reveal yourself. You were covert for so long.
Oh shit!
And
To
then
get
we started-
fired real
We
quick.
started talking to his soul.
If I say it out loud, you can't convict me.
That's
What's
true.
up? I will say, you're talking times and drinking. The most interesting drinking crowd is the 6-7 a.m. crowd. You got your nurses off work, and then you got your hardcore elkies.
That's.
And then you got your in betweens.
I think most people are dedicated to some sort of drug. I don't care what anybody says. You very rarely find a person that's not dedicated to any drug, any
or
type
you
of
have a
stimulant
vice
or something.
of some sort.
I
even
wouldn't
if it's
consider it a
not
vice.
like
a vice
drug,
could be beating your dick in your car. That could be a vice.
But you
I'm
might
talking
be-
about drug specific. Like most people have an escape. Like most people either smoke, snort, or drink. Like I don't like anything that you shoot up.
pop.
Absolutely.
Pop, popping is.
Shoot.
Popping is a thing that I'm not. I haven't fully.
Untouchables.
I haven't
There's
really
some
put my whole
untouchables.
foot in the water. You know what I mean? Like I
And
put my toe in the popping. Like all right, maybe that's cool, but I ain't put my whole foot in the popping.
So beer, right?
Beer's cool.
But
Beer
on
is
that,
to
man,
drink.
like, I like that you brought
God,
that
I'm in
up.
the wrong business, man.
No, you probably make more money if you sold drugs.
No, of course.
Yeah, like that's understood.
For
Even
sure,
selling
for sure.
drugs, like when alcohol was considered a drug and it was during Prohibition, I feel like those people got super rich.
Yeah, no.
Capone.
Even like the Kennedy family, like
Capone.
Prohibition, like the monies from Prohibition or some shit like that. One of these political families and one of these families standing, like all their money comes from Prohibition.
Yeah, I mean, people
Nouveau
came up heavy.
riche.
Yeah,
Super heavy.
yeah. There's a lot of gang crime. You know?
Because drugs are the most consumed shit in the world.
Yeah.
Drugs are bigger than football in America. Like, think about that.
Prescription.
Yeah, I mean, they
All
started
that, it's all
they
there.
they started like the war on drugs, and
It's
like,
not a real war.
Yeah, well, before they started
Profit.
the war on drugs, I think it was somewhere around like 9% of the population, used drugs on a regular basis. I mean, like at least was admitting it at that point.
Documented.
Yeah, it
Motherfuckers
documented
been
where
using drugs
yeah.
since they was Native Americans, like
And-
TPs and shit.
Yeah, they
Ayahuasca.
and they did another like survey, like 20 years into it, and it still was the same percentage of
Yeah,
people.
it's not gonna go
It
down.
didn't do shit over a 20-year period of
No.
war on drug, And I was watching Weedakit, it's his Vice Network show or whatever, and he and they were interviewing these middle class, white Americans that were looking like they had legalized weed, and they sorted up these shops. All well and good under the book, but they have these forfeiture laws where they just like, if you do any type of slight crime, like your gate is too rusty, this lock like is breaks code, instead of like fining you or taking you to court, they're able to come into your home and take all of your fucking money and
your
everything
drugs.
you own. No, everything like they didn't even go to the shop. They went into their home and stole dildos and like went and threw her kids like birthday cards and was stealing like cash out of the birthday cards and took their cars and like TVs and shit like that over some like minor infraction, and it's just like straight robbing motherfuckers. They made like hundreds of millions of dollars in the last like couple of years just on forfeiture laws. And because it's a civil thing, thing, there's no like rights. It's not like they don't even need to be I think it's convicted of a crime. They don't have any rights as a criminal. It's all civil, so like you have to just fight that shit 50-50.
Right. Yeah, I think there's so little burden of proof on, I guess, obtaining those and saying it was used in the forfeiture of a crime, that a lot of times you don't recoup that shit. Like, it's just like, it's going to cost too much to fight it. They already got it.
They got it. It's prohibitively, you got to get a lawyer and all that other shit.
Most people dealing with drugs.
Sell you out.
They took like $80,000 off of this family or whatever. They had like 6 kids and shit.
I've seen money taken off someone, like taken out of someone's safe deposit box. Like, just they come if that shit.
The libertarian in me is like, I'm cringing over here. I'm just like, oh
yeah. But this was a result of the 80s and Reagan and
you criminalized
that. Consenting adults should be able to do, as long as they're not hurting anybody, should be able to do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
As long as someone is not, if you want to do something, as long as you're not,
as long as it's consensual,
harm principle.
Consenting adults should be able to do whatever the fuck they want.
Exactly. Yeah,
I'm sorry. There's that. There's my Ron Paul.
No, that's cool.
Moment.
I think we're all pro drugs to a certain extent.
Before we lose this, I love what you said earlier. Before we got to stay on drugs, that topic. But addiction, you mentioned vice. I want to switch that word vice into drive, because you can switch that drug into creativity. You can switch it into other things. Whatever makes you do what you do that you need. You know what I mean?
I think a small percentage of drug users are drug abusers, and I think drug abuse is a different thing. Yeah. But I mean,
different countries treat that differently too.
If you go to college and you learn that a lot of motherfuckers use drugs, like, and not even just people you going to school with,
doctors,
your professors,
lawyers,
motherfuckers providing the grant money, like they all smack in a bowl at some point. Like,
so they're getting by. I mean, everybody needs some sort of relief, and you don't get it as naturally as you used to back in the olden days when like all you did was like work and then come back home and chill for
out.
Like,
the more money you get, the better the more money you get, the better the drugs. That's why coke is always like a fucking expensive drug, because it gives you an intense high. It's really quick. It gets over with. You know what I mean? These motherfuckers can work functionally off coke, which is weird. It sounds, but I've never done coke. I'm not gonna do coke because it's just stigma from where I'm from. This is a whole stigma about coke. But then the more I hear about it, I'm like, yo, that shit makes sense. Like, you get a short little intense high, and then you get high for your lunch break, and it just goes back to work. Like, that's kind of dope. You don't have to roll it. You don't have to break it down. You just put it on a table or a mirror or the back of your phone.
I just can't. I can't imagine just like the quantity and the versus the high of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just economically for me, and that's why I guess it's for the rich folks, because I can't imagine spending $60 for like an hour.
The more money you get,
like, I'm like,
the better the drugs.
Not even
conducive to what you're doing.
I guess, yeah.
That conducive to what you're doing, the individual. I think it's all about free will and how you do it. You said there's abusers, there's that percentage, and there's people that like, enhancement. I look at it as if you're hammering a nail into the wall. That's something that, weed or whatever, you're more creative on it. Wiz Khalifa, like tons of artists, you can either hit that nail in the wall with one fucking hit from that enhancement, or you can bash up your hand all around it. It's all how you use it.
I think there's like you said,
recreation or progress.
I mean, you can have a healthy relationship with most drugs.
Abuse or progress.
Like you can have a good relationship or an abusive relationship with most drugs. It's moderation is the key to life. And if you are functional and it's not taking away from yourself, your family, and you're able to continue on happily in life, there's no issues there. I mean, like it's
your
when
own
it
head,
becomes
mind, body, soul.
Yeah, like, and I think that whatever drug of choice that you have, and I think in this country we do a poor job of handling abuse, because when it becomes abusive, you don't have any route to take that won't lead to your downfall,
incarceration.
You may go to jail for having that in your system. I mean, or
generally with abuse, the drug isn't the issue. And I think we approach it as if the drug is the problem.
It's a crime.
Somebody
it's a crime to be an addict, as opposed to like in other countries where they treat it as a mental health, as a
disease.
As a health problem, as a health issue. Like when you go to Amsterdam or whatever, you think it's going to be this fucking like city of like drugs and sex. I'm like, oh shit, but like they treat that shit like it's the most normal fucking place in the world. They just have titties everywhere, and like people are happy as fuck.
A titty a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, like motherfuckers
just something like that.
Fact.
And it's clean as shit, but like I
think I got that on plate somewhere. I think that's up on my mantle.
I think that was Trump's ballot.
Fuck Trump.
Trump's ballot.
Fuck Trump.
What was Pence's running song? Every time he walked down the stage, running with the devil. Wasn't that song?
I don't even know if Pence
Satan.
didn't have his own signs, did he? I don't think Pence had anything.
I think Pence was just
Pence
cool,
has those signs. There was those burning crosses up in them yards.
Yeah. I can't believe. The only good thing
This is getting
that
real.
can
This is
come
getting
from that motherfucker being elected is all of us realizing how fucked that is to unite and do something and deroot the two-party system and fucking do something.
Third party,
it.
baby.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm seeing like a crazy split, and that's why I think if he goes to 8 years, it'll be because there's a split.
It's
can't see that far in the future.
When you say we all unite, that's going to be very difficult with Trump being president, because as a black person, I don't know how. I just don't know how to unite with motherfuckers, because you always going to be looking like you might have voted. Because we don't know who the Trump. There's these hardcore Trump supporters.
You see them now; they're coming out of the woodwork. Now they think it's okay.
Motherfucker to win. So then you're gonna be looking like, well, who the fuck really voted for him? Like, as soon as he got elected, I had like 5 white people apologize. And I'm like, okay, why did you come up to me and apologize? Did you vote? Like, who the fuck just comes up and apologizes?
One in 4 people. 1 in 4 people voted for Trump, and
we don't know who did. You'll never know. You'll never know. You know a certain group of people who did.
Yeah, there's some obvious.
And you can kind of guess, but there's some motherfuckers who be at work with you that's real cool with you that voted for Trump.
My fucking coworker came in. My fucking coworker came in and was like, I'll never talk to people at my job. It's just not a thing that I do. Yeah, I don't really like to talk to them. I'm here to do my job and I go home.
They're acquaintances.
They're not even really acquaintances. They're just people I work with. You know what I mean? Like, we have to work in the same building. That doesn't mean we have to have
to the same place. That's all we have in common.
That's all we have in common.
Similar interviews.
Yeah.
Our qualifications are the same, but
probably not. You probably
we got a different role here. So but for some reason she felt that like she came in and like was like, oh hey, she's all awkward and shit. She came, hey, said some weird shit and then was like, yeah, I'm really glad that Hillary didn't win. I'm like, what the fuck made you just out of nowhere? And it's not like she's one of those chicks that doesn't take up like visual cues. Like, I'm just looking down at my phone and shit, like trying to type away, like busy, can't get time to talk. And she's just like, yeah, man, I really do. I can't. Now I feel a little guilty though, because I don't know what to expect now. It's like buyer's remorse. You know what I mean? Like, she was like, because it was like, oh fuck, we really did it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's I don't know. It's a weird situation. All I'm saying is I'm walking around, I'm navigating Earth not knowing who did what, and it's a strange time. Yeah. Like when Obama beat Romney, I didn't really give a fuck if he voted for Romney. It just didn't have that same what the fuck. Like with Trump, if you told me you voted for Trump, I'm gonna feel some type of way. I might not treat you terribly or anything like that, but I can't. It's only a certain level of cool we can be, because I don't understand where that came from, because nobody can really understand.
You're sitting across the bar from them like, hey, send them a Michelob Ultra.
We only Michelob. Like, I don't give if on your birthday, if I buy you a Michelob, I don't give a fuck about you. Like, and that's what I'm doing to Trump supporters. They're getting all Michelobs and Natty Ice.
Send that motherfucker a Michelob.
Extreme example of that. That fucking election is like, that's. I hate politics, but like, just that's a different thing. That's
To me, the election was more representative of America, or the actual true culture of America, than anything else I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's shocking because there is this air of progress that we had or we felt for a
We were
long
going
time,
somewhere.
and it feels like a regression.
Pat
now.
ourselves on the back.
It
Like,
was-
yeah, we made it.
Yeah, it was like a reminder.
But
like,
all
nah.
the time, like we didn't realize that there's this segment of people who feel pushed away by people coming
By
together,
growth and diversity,
and
They
then that's
feel
what
bad about
that's
it.
what's the most disturbing part about it.
No. We knew. They made
Oh,
it very
here's-
clear.
I'll
Once
keep-
Obama came in, that 8 years, it was 8 years of a lot of
I've
build
never
up
seen a more
and
disrespected like president.
Yo, they went ham, and that's the thing is that like growing up and seeing that, as a minority, like you see that on a regular basis. You know what I mean? Like, so we know it's there, but it's in coded speech. So like, for a while, it's like, is it really there? Because you don't hear it as much. And Trump did a fucking tremendous job of, like you said, uncovering all that, because now it's like
Appealing
oh, shit.
to that.
Like
contingent
you,
of
it's
people.
like you
They are
can't
out of the
deny it
woodwork.
anymore. You know what I mean? Like you really can't deny. Now it's just like you got to choose sides. Is this like are you for racism and bigotry and the whole this bubble, or
Yeah, is you with me or what?
yeah, like, it's
Look
tough.
at PA, Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, blue, everything else red.
But I think that's why I said this election was more telling than any other event that I've seen in history in my lifetime, because you're not like up until this election, I was not aware that is how the country as a whole votes. It's largely red. There are small pockets of blue. They just happen to be more populated than the
In
red.
major
And
cities that are
people in
educated.
the more red situations aren't moved to vote as often, and he mobilized that vote. Because the Rust Belt, I don't feel like the demographic of vote changed. I felt like more people in this specific demographic voted. I don't feel like he said anything that made you feel like, oh, this presidency is going to be better for me. It's just like, yo, I feel what he's saying because fuck that other shit. So I'll vote.
Yeah,
That's how I feel. So anyway, fuck it. We're not fucked. We just gotta move forward and just make shit happen. And
I mean, we got to get out. Local politics matter.
local politics
you
matter.
know.
White people don't be offended if Negroes aren't fucking with you. Just we don't know. Like we don't know who you voted for. Like
Fucked up.
some people are on
Some of
edge.
us
Like
fucked
I
one
don't
yet.
know, man.
Yeah.
That one time we was sitting in the lunchroom, but you said that one thing, and now I'm like, what the fuck? Did you vote for Trump? Like walk around trying to be my friend. Now I'm hoping this never negatively affects the craft brew industry. Like, but there's some cool shit happening in the craft brew industry. Like we were talking about some of the laws with a gentleman. Have you seen a shift now that in the city, because it's such a burgeoning industry here in the city, and I'm assuming throughout the state it's burgeoning? Have you seen any like regulations that have changed that have adversely affected the business you do?
We're
or
up
helped?
big.
Okay.
Like in Pittsburgh, we're up 20%. Now 20%, that's big. I mean, I'm happy. However, there's a law change that just happened for a 12-pack to 6-pack for these distributors.
Mm-hmm.
One, I think that's going to suck for distributors because you're all going to go out of business, because it's going to be tough because they're going to be selling less beer, and I don't think they're ready for that, like making less money
Right,
money
they
on
don't know how to
every
deal
person
with
that walks through the
market. That's a
door.
different market of
It's going to be tough, and I feel bad because that's what they want, but I don't think they realize that. I don't know if that model can support all of these distributors.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the legislation like? What is it? It allows distributors just to now
6-packs.
sell 6-packs, and I'm
like,
sure on the back end of that, there's some fallout for.
I've been
other
selling less
individuals.
beer off premise, which is, like distributors and Giant Eagles. I've been selling less there since that 12-pack law came in than I had when it was a case, because it was everyone had to come in and get 24, and
Right.
now they're buying 12.
Yeah.
Like they're like, I'm going to get 12 of this, I'm going to get 12 of that. I don't need to buy a full case anymore.
Yeah.
So I've been selling less. Everyone's been selling less, and it's starting to creep up. And now I feel like it's gonna be less again.
Yeah.
Right, it's broken down. It's like when the new hustler come to the block and he cut that a little more.
Yeah.
You know,
Because I mean, I actually love 12-pack. Like, because
12 packs are great.
I go
It's
in.
a perfect number.
Yeah, like, if I'm going to
Just
a party.
give me one.
Yeah, if I'm going to a party or whatever, I'm going to just go with that 12 pack. And I'm cool leaving, whatever. I don't drink there afterwards or whatever. I go in with a case.
You're like,
I'm
I feel some type of way. That's $30.
Yeah.
Steal that
Once
six-pack
you get
out of there.
above $20 for
Yeah.
purchase, you want to see that entire investment actualized.
Yeah.
The average American sets a cap at bullshitting at $20. Like, look, I'll bullshit a $17 6-pack, and even then, like, if I paid $17 for a sixer, I want those shits to be gone. But like, if I paid
That's
$25,
that's Pittsburgh though. You got to know you're
I
from
make-
Ohio. Their laws are so wonderful over there. And when you buy a 6-pack of beer at a bar, you're paying 1/6 of that 6-pack price. It's beautiful over
Can
there.
I just be honest with you? I've lived my entire adult life in Pittsburgh. So I
You
would
don't
say
know
in Ohio,
how beautiful Cleveland. I mean,
Cleveland,
I will
Yeah.
say this
Ohio
about Cleveland.
liquor
You could
laws.
always find a wino named Still Bill who will get your liquor for you underage. So I don't know if that's a derivative of the laws, but Still Bill went in there and he came out with that half pint, and all you had to do was give him
My
Polish
cousin's
boy
from
money.
Cleveland. He's
But it wasn't a full
always
pint.
getting on. He's always getting on me living out here in Pittsburgh. He's like, your laws
Yeah.
are
Oh, yeah.
so
They are whack
stupid.
as shit.
I live 15
Quaker
minutes from the
State
border,
fucked.
Oh.
so I can just like jump in real quick and
Yeah,
grab.
the laws here are definitely
You ever jumping
whack.
out to Vintage States out that way? Boardman. You ever go that way?
I've been somewhere through Boardman.
You got to go to Vintage States, man. It's sweet. It's incredible. It's just wine, draft beer, bottles. Everything's fair. Good pizza too.
Yeah,
Yeah, because in Ohio we fucking sell liquor at CVS.
yeah.
You get your
Standard
drink, which
markup.
is your plan A, then you hit the pharmacy and grab your plan B, and you're Gucci.
Get well.
That was terrible.
No,
I think
I like
this
it.
is why we've turned. This is why I've become the villain and you the good guy, because that's a Dave Bracey thought.
It is the next 100 days as of today.
Truth.
Man. Yeah, but man, I mean the laws.
Everybody took a
changing.
sip at the same time. That was funny.
That was that was incredible.
Everybody.
This fucking hundo is
It was
amazing.
that pharmacy
Hundo,
shit.
the Hundo has my heart.
Yeah.
I want to finish this growler.
Oh,
Before
no,
I
that's not
leave.
gonna be
Oh,
a problem.
yeah.
Like I think we're on the same page.
I will
with
be that like mom character. Be like,
and I think the
finish your hundo before.
And don't get me wrong, I think that Living Color is a really good beer.
Thank
And
you.
I think
Yeah.
people should definitely support that.
Yes.
You get a good beer.
you-
You don't necessarily, it doesn't alter your night. Just go out, get your drinking on, get you one to support the small business. It's a good beer. You can walk around with it, cool. But that Hundo just has a special place.
Thank
for
you.
me. Just on that night was majestic, man.
Yeah.
That shit was like unreal.
Yeah.
It was like unreal, man. And I was drinking shit that was made that I had something to do with it. Like that was dope as shit. Hundo is a very, 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 very good beer that you should continue
Yeah, no,
to
I,
produce.
like I said, I mean, I can't tell you like how much people are raving about that
They
shit. I
fucking
drank
love
that
it.
shit.
I appreciate that.
I drank that shit for a week straight and loved like every day. Just for like I was just ridiculous. That I mean, and it's a great balance. And
That's
wha-
that thing we were talking about before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Balance is important in all things, in life and in beer. So what do you, not Tom, because Tom, I feel like everybody.
I'll shut up
listening,
from now on.
They know you. So how do you balance your day job, your music, your entrepreneurial pursuits, Chris? How do you what do you do to balance that out? Or what do you do for your, and I think we should ask more people this. What do
Yeah.
you do for yourself?
For sanity.
Yeah, just to
No, straight up. At first, it was fucked. I made sure every job. I said I'm not working 9 to 5 after college. I don't believe in industries, this, that, and the other. But I drive Uber, Lyft, substitute teach. All of those jobs, I can take off a month, a fucking year, and I still have my job without penalty. So I invested everything.
I
in-
believe that children are our future.
The children. The children. As of June, after the second art crawl, I've been straight art and music the whole time. So I'm full time now. I subbed one day this year just because a friend from old school asked me to. So that's what it's been going to. But as local business, I'm working way more than 9 to 5 every day to make that happen for the community.
yeah.
And it's growing, it's expanding, and that's for everyone. That's for you guys. That's for them. It's bringing everyone along on the train. Because, we talked the election, we talked the beer, this, that. The way we need this to start is on a local level to make a little mini revolution, not in an uprising way, in a peaceful, unity manner. local business, local beer, local
grassroots,
art,
man,
local everything. Grassroots as fuck.
Mm-hmm. That's what That's what I said. Local
progress. Just move progressively.
Local politics matter. Like, I mean, everybody's looking at the presidency and like these, high ups. Like, look at your aldermen or whatever. I mean, like, write your senators and your congressmen. Like, the thing that was crazy for me. The thing that was crazy for me is that like everybody was like drain the swamp, but they reelected all the incumbents.
You can't drain the swamp.
You mean so like you're still on a local like on the top level. You're like, oh, I want a different president, but you're still on your local level. You're still hiring the same fucking people to do the same shit that you were pissed off about for the last fucking 8 years. You know what I mean? So it starts on a local level. I mean, like, and again, not even just the artist and the businesses or whatever, but like in politics, like I said, write your congressman, write your senators. I mean, like, vote for sure. Vote every 2 years, man. Vote anytime there's a referendum. I
gotta follow up on that. I'm so glad we somehow linked politics to beer, art, this and that. No, I'm serious. Like, as a teacher in public schools, I can tell you 2 facts right now. That's why it's fucked up. Schools are funded off property tax. If you're in the north side, if you're going to Perry, you're in a poverty-ridden area, that's your funding.
Yeah,
George Bush, No Child Left Behind, PSSA. If you don't hit a certain percentile, your school doesn't get funding. That's not No Child Left Behind. Like, oh, we're not involved in the system. We want everyone at 5th grade to be at this standard. So all it does is increase the wealth gap. That's it. And then based on what you said, there's a lot there. That beer is kicking and I lost it. But,
no, it happens.
Oh, that commercial break was brought to you by Hundo.
There we go.
Hundo, delicious 8.3%.
We would like to thank the sponsors at Hot Cheetos. I brought that for you.
Hundo.
Cheetos, hope you're out there,
He just
sponsor.
threw out some hot Cheetos.
Yeah, he did. Hundo, hit that
come from the
crushable
sleeves?
5 and then forget about it.
I got y'all some silver cups too from this. You take a silver cup.
Nice.
So wait, I need to.
Yeah, I'm off topic.
No, you're not off topic.
You're
so
topics.
on
Talk about
topic.
Cheetos and silver.
I was
cups.
gonna say,
I'm
topics.
off topic.
It was a good one.
All of the
This
topics are
This
off
is
topic.
Drunken Friends podcast.
Yeah.
This is Beer Buddies or whatever we've been called.
You just
guys
lost your
need
own
to keep
brand
up.
name there.
Yeah, we've been called all types of random
This is
shit.
beer buddies.
So I, as most people who are listening to this podcast, we're wondering, what's a day like with you being the sub? Like, what is that like?
No, straight
Like,
up.
how does that work? Do you give a fuck about the teacher's
Oh,
the
Every
teacher's
time.
fucking like learning plan, or do you just go in and like, I'm doing my own thing? But I'm gonna tell you something. Those I'm doing my own thing subs,
where
they
it's
can
at.
either be the best sub or the worst sub. But generally they're the best subs.
see, I mean, but there's also the sub that's like, look, this is what needs to be done. This is the lesson.
Fuck that sub.
Just get it done.
You
and then
ain't.
fuck
I'm not
off.
trying to hear your
were
lesson.
in
You
high
hear
school.
today and Tuesday. Get the fuck out of here. I want you to come in, implement your own game plan. Let's play bingo all day. Let's do fun sub.
Everything you said is 100% right. And as that sub that plays is, I'm the best. Let's be real. I'm the best.
Yeah.
Put that out there. But no. Like,
He's the best
we
sub.
were all in high school. We all fucked with the sub. We all disrespected it. It's whatever. So, like, knowing that going in as that shit kid, like, you got to play it real.
You have to
gotta
fuck with the
Yeah.
sub because
Yeah.
there's a reason you're just a sub, and it ain't because you want to be. You know what I mean? Like you fuck that. People. I don't understand why you would be a sub. Why would you not just want to be a full-time teacher unless you have something else going on? Then I get it. But as a student, if you're just coming in taking the place of my teacher, no, I'm not gonna respect you.
No, fact.
Because you don't affect my grade this marking period.
It
Like, I've never
depends.
gotten a lower grade because I fucked with the sub. Like, nobody gives a fuck.
No, for sure. Like, I've been in one school 3. If you have the respect, if you're there longer than 2 days, then it matters. You know what I mean? And not even that. Like, my first day was at Perry. I had no idea what I was getting into. And
Oh, Perry.
Yeah, it was
I
heavy
don't
as
think they
shit.
call that a carry no more.
It was heavy. There was a 30-on-30 person fight in there that needed to call fucking cops to fucking break up.
Yeah,
So
but
I
you're the
play- you
sub.
gotta
You
play
don't
it
have to
hard.
do anything with that.
No, but I mean,
I'm
I
not
take it to heart. I
full-time.
take it to heart. You gotta, you know what I mean?
Nah, I
You
never
either
take a
act or
30
don't.
on 30.
No, I'm not. I wasn't there for
That's
that.
a
I was
conscious
not- yeah.
decision. If it's 30 on 30, that needs to happen. Y'all need to get that aggression
So you
out.
take me, you put the skinny white guy in the middle. It's like, hey guys, let's treat each other well.
No. If it's 30 on 30, there's some deeply rooted neighborhood shit involved, and they got to work that out. That's beyond
That's because
school.
they adopted Oliver's.
That has nothing to do with the school. That's them dealing with shit from 5 to whatever time they go to bed. You don't want to get involved with
and
that.
The only reason I hit it hard is because I did exactly what you just said, because you're right. You got to not be like, oh, here's a sheet, do it. Like, this is what we have to do. No, that never works. It's never going to work, and it hasn't. You got to be charismatic. Like, my first day there, of course, people were ripping me apart, you know? So, like, I instantly took a textbook, slammed it against the window. You break some shit. You get people's attention, and then, like, you know, I had that's a heavy-ass school. There's, like, people kill each other. It's insane. But...
Yeah,
like,
I don't know if you should be going in slamming books now. I think we have two different ideologies at that point.
What I'm saying is, like, then you get their attention, the people who are fucking with you, then you're like, yo, read, do this, stand up on the desk, do something unorthodox so they pay attention.
Captain,
and then,
Captain.
Yeah, straight up that. And then everyone who is, you know, messing with you first be like, oh, no, you're not in it. And then they want to be in it. And then you bring them back. Like, I don't know. I'm all about unorthodox shit, and it's worked for me the whole time. Just do that outgoing, weird, extroverted shit, and then it works. If you're just like, oh, here's a sheet, nah.
So that sounds like have you taken lessons from subbing into the teaching? Because listening to that, it's almost like, okay, I have this history of grabbing the attention of those who aren't necessarily here for me. You know what I mean? And that's a big thing in comedy, where sometimes you do shows and the people there aren't there to see you. They might be there to see their friend. They might be there to see a headliner.
Yeah.
They just might not know who the fuck you are. And
They are
sometimes it
never
almost
there to
feels
see
like
the
you
sub.
got to do something drastic to get people to shut up and listen.
Yeah.
And then you bring the substance behind it. Has this been something that you've adapted with your performance?
Absolutely.
Or has the
Absolutely.
performance helped with the substitute
Both,
teaching?
hand in hand. It's
Okay.
all synthesis of both making each other. And then I'll go on record and lose my job again for the second time. I have no credentials, zero. I went for philosophy
Nobody
and creative
asked you
writing.
that. You
I know.
didn't ask you that.
That's the reason I'm bringing it up, though. There's a lot in public schools, heavier schools. It is like, if you don't have a spine, if you can't stand up, no matter how smart you are, if you can't get across these people, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
And that's that. You got to motivate. And like, I have the privilege of getting very involved and then being able to take a break without penalty. Like, I totally respect the hell. Like, I was like full-time 4th grade for a year, jaded. Like, being in there full-time is heavy.
Are you out?
I think you're out, Chris.
I can hear myself.
No, he's good.
All
He's
right.
Gucci. He's Gucci. Teaching is so important.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird thing. Like I feel like teachers I feel fucked up because I have this super like high standard for teachers, and I know there's no way I could do it. I couldn't.
I walk.
A bunch of strangers,
He walks.
kids, like I'll be ready to wash my hands with my nephews
You know-
when they start acting
you wanna know
up.
what it
Like,
is,
yo, I'm
though,
done
about
with this.
teaching?
Like fuck this.
When I was a teacher, you gotta take these kids that you said aren't yours. You have no prior, like relationship with. You gotta find them. You gotta take them and say, I gotta find something I like about this kid.
Mm-hmm.
And people, some of these teachers,
Which can be nothing with kids.
seriously,
Yeah.
I can't even have a
it's so
drink with
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta say like you gotta find something you like about that kid. Be like, this kid sucks. He's the worst, but there's something in there that's awesome.
And those
I'm
are
gonna
the
take
ones who
that
are the
and I'm gonna
fucked
run
up
with
home
it.
situations every time.
And
Yeah.
I see in the industry, because like there's a lot of different teaching styles and reasons why people get into it and the whole nine, and that affects like the relationship with various students and the system, the whole nine. I think there's a type of person, and I've run into a lot of that type. Like I started off secondary math education, so like I was in that crowd for a little while, and like they were there's a type that is just like that is kind of drawn to that field, where it's just like like
They have
nurses.
a bunch of tchotchke shit around their house, like to teach a child is to touch their heart forever. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, like everybody's a snowflake and the whole nine. Like, and I think this in this country, we do not give credit to the education system. We gut it. And I think a lot of what we're seeing now is a result of us gutting that education system and appropriating those same funds into, corporate welfare and the war machine. You know what I mean? Like,
It's owned by institutions.
Yeah.
It is owned by corporations.
So-
Dibble's test, this, that.
Yeah,
it's
like-
all standardized tests. It's fucked up.
I mean, so education has taken a huge hit, and I mean, teachers in general, don't make nearly enough to keep afloat.
11,000 last year qualified for Medicaid. Hope Trump doesn't take that shit away.
Absolutely fucking ridiculous.
But I will say, if there's one important thing that I had to come to terms with after you get attached, you want to change things. Like my number one thing is change things for the better, help out, get involved. You cannot change something or someone outside of yourself. You can only show them the proper resources and the way to do it.
You can lead a horse.
And once again, fuck Trump.
Yeah.
Like, how in this day and age, anyone with a conscious mind, like black, white, Oriental, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like,
Rugs Oriental.
People I'm trying to be. All right, okay, I'll just fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, I'm drunk. That's fine.
That's the point of the show.
I didn't.
You're doing it right.
I'm making a stance that has
I was
nothing
gonna
to
let
do
the
with what we came
Oriental
here
ride
to talk
because
about.
it's my favorite flavor of ramen.
It does have a warm spot.
I'm gonna live forever.
Like,
So I wasn't gonna.
I'm sorry, my buddy's Fijian. He's like, yo, Tom. He's like, I love your mom. Now she always dropping that Oriental thing. She's like, I love your friend P. I love that he's such a nice Oriental young man.
Yeah, I mean, people who don't know, see, ignorance is taken a negative connotation. It's not super negative. It's just a lack of awareness, a lack of knowing.
That was always his thing.
But
like,
where ignorance goes sour is when you start to act on your lack of knowing as if you know, and then it's like, all right, you's an ignorant motherfucker. Like, I'm ignorant to a lot of things. I'm ignorant to a lot of things that go with craft beer. You know what I mean? But I still do the podcast, but I'm willing to be open and learn.
Yeah, and I think that separates you and everybody in this room, but is having that open-mindedness. Like I was talking to a friend last night, and he was like, I'm a conservative, and like I'm right, but like I'm like the most progressive one that I know because like I don't have this same like level of hatred or whatever. I was like, that's because you're a humanist, you know what I mean, and you're open-minded. Because left, right, whatever, like there's leftists that are dogged and just, I want to believe what I believe and I don't want to, I want to live in an echo chamber. And there's the same thing on the right. But like the people that are able to have those various views but still get along are the people that are open-minded and able to hear a conversation and continue that on and say, you know what, I may have been wrong. I think it's a lot. To say, like, I might have been looking at life the completely wrong way.
Right, because life is finite. As far as we know, you live it and you're gone.
Yeah.
And you got the one shot and that's it. So it's hard to be like, I've been fucking this up for so many decades.
Translate back to what we were talking about the whole time, community. Bring it down to our level. That's what it is. No pretentiousness, right? Overlap the local scene. We're better than them. They're better than them. That band's different style. Fuck them. Like it's all about.
Why fuck the band? I thought you had a positive message.
No, I am. I am. I'm saying that like eliminate pretentiousness based off what he said. Sense of community. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what I'm
you're
saying.
You're a modern day hippie, and I love it, man. That's awesome. We need more hippies in this life. Like hippies kept shit balanced.
Shout out Levity, man. If you wanna catch a hippie vibe, go to Levity. Drop in that motherfucker for an hour, or as I did, a little longer than an hour or so. And
hippies are like they're fucking great for society because no matter where you are, polarized, you meet this hippie who don't give a fuck, and it softens your view a little bit.
Yeah.
What's up?
All right, but the hippies probably had their shit. They was like, yo, fuck that, but everything else is cool. Right. Everything else is copacetic. I don't wear socks. Socks are outside of what I do, but everything else is cool.
I'm gonna come back to that Oriental ramen noodle
gotta
flavor.
Let the Oriental
bump
go.
up. I know, I am. What I'm saying, all I was making with that point is that everyone, it's based off merit, the individual, and credibility. That's it.
Yeah,
the person. None of that shit.
And hopefully one day we get to a point where that is the foundation.
Yeah,
of the
all
country.
I'm saying is beyond me how we're not there
I'll
yet.
be dead and gone by the time that happens. Yeah. So we just keep.
Isn't that a little depressing though?
Yeah. No, because it. Chris Rock said it, and I thought it was funny and it was true. We are living in a society where white people are the nicest they've ever been. So I can't complain that much because there was a time in history where things were worse.
Yeah.
So
and there's hope, and that's what That's what, like, I mean, I do all my ranting or whatever, but like, I love this country. Like, I love America. I love, the progress that we have made. And I wouldn't be so angry and like outspoken if I thought it was hopeless. You know what I mean, so
right. No, I agree.
So looking in the future and like when you look at change is oftentimes generational. You know what I mean, you might be working towards something that you will never see. You know what I mean, like but
that's deep. I never thought about it that way.
It because we're doing like right now where we're at right now is the hard work of a great many thousands and millions of people that have never seen.
It's cumulative.
Yeah, it's cumulative.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people didn't make it to see that.
I never thought about that.
But you do it because you want this moment. Like, so like that thing that we're talking about, we put the time in, not just so we can see it, so that it can actually happen.
Yeah, if you're talking about morphing the foundation of a country, that's going to take more than a lifetime. Yeah, because you've had so many lifetimes that this was the foundation. Yeah. It's going to take more than just
you got to hand the ball off. I mean,
we ain't
just
going baton. Yeah. So you give someone a better starting point. Boom. You know what I mean? That's why people race for pole position in NASCAR. You didn't think I watched that.
I didn't. 101 episodes.
Booyah!
This is definitely the Dalmatian episode.
Yes, I did.
Because you definitely got some white spots in it.
No, that's not. Well, okay.
Like the reverse.
NASCAR is definitely the whitest. NASCAR is the whitest thing I've ever shown support of. Now, here's the thing. That's just
some Johnny
people
Cash
driving fast.
He's the whitest thing on the planet.
I don't know anything about Johnny Cash.
Exactly. Keep it that way.
Up until 74 episodes ago, he was a character on Street Fighter. Johnny Cash.
Is that the name of the coyote on all those Looney Tunes? What's that guy's name?
No, but man, I don't know what the fuck this podcast was super political.
Yeah, it did. It
got real fast.
Well, really. You come on here too much, so it's almost like they're not having our black conversation. You know what I mean? Because this is conversations that we have.
We could talk about
fairly often.
We could talk about things, whatever you want to talk about.
I think what's funny is in this country, race and small businesses have a similar struggle to races in the fact that we talk about promoting small businesses and people talk about equality, people talk about diversity because it sounds good, but all of the legislation and the enactment of legislation is kind of rooted in keeping those things subdued or elevating certain ones to make it seem like this shit can happen, keeping the masses subdued. You know what I mean? Like when you're talking about moving from selling 12 packs to 6 packs, that seems good. There's this thing like, oh yeah, so now you can go here and get this. But then those micro breweries that
just invested thousands of dollars.
They build off of Sixers. Like this is what we do.
Not that I know anything about that.
Now Giant Eagle can sell a sixer of Coors. You know what I mean? And that kind of fucks me.
Yeah.
So for every good thing, there is a negative.
But I mean, would that also give people? Because the thing is that like what it did for me was it diversified my my experience, because like I wouldn't pay like for a whole case, but like with the 12 pack, like I'm more willing to give that a try as opposed to something new. So with a 6 pack, like I would go in, get a 6 pack to try that. And if I liked it, then I would definitely next time I go to a party, grab the 12er, you know what I mean? Because I had the 6.
It's tough, man. It's hard to say. I mean,
I think it's
going to be bad for smaller breweries because they're going to be selling less and less and less. Yep. I mean, my business is mostly draft driven.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll feel as much of a pinch as like a place that's like who maybe is out of state and most of their business is driven from off premise. So now they went from selling, because I was just talking with the guy from Oscar Blues, really nice guy. He's saying that they're up because they're selling more 12 packs. And I wonder how that would be for a smaller brewery. Oscar Blues is one of the biggest breweries in the country.
Yeah.
They have 12 packs already. They were all set. They're just like, send them out. And now they're just, 12 pack. And I'm thinking like those breweries who depend on selling that case. I want to sell that case. I want to sell that 12 pack. Now I'm selling less.
Yeah.
I wonder what that's going to end up being like.
I got to interject before we lose this point, if that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I don't think we've been off topic for 1 second talking politics, this, that, because this beer right here, the Living Color, that's about diversity. That's about bringing different people together, different styles of art, different genres, just different people in the same room intersecting. You know, oh, I like that. Now I'm going to check him out and follow him. Or I like her. I'm going to follow that style of art. I'm going to, you know, be more open-minded to do that. And that open-mindedness, that's what we need to have. That's what you were talking about. That's what both of you guys were talking about. And that's what needs to happen for us to go forward. And if there's, you know, students, I give them two options sometime when I get pissed. I say you can either give up or push forward. And the latter is always better. But I'll end my rant there.
Nice.
Your show. Now, what happens when you say that to a kid and he's like, yo, fuck you, teach. Like, you just gave up.
Yeah, no, I straight up, like, I shun them.
You just gave up.
And I tell everyone, I say, all right, guys, it's time to shame Andre. And we go, shame. And there's 26 kids shaming him.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
It's like Game of Thrones. Shame.
Yeah.
Shame.
That would be awesome.
That's like me when I take out the recycling every weekend. It's like clink, 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 shame. Shame. Clink, 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 clink.
My job is gone. Retired.
So, since your job is gone, then you need to push this. Where can they find you online, my friend?
Redfish Bowl, Instagram, Facebook, internet. And what we do
Gotta
is,
get this guy better on Twitter. Though. Twitter is where it's
I fucking suck at Twitter.
You
that is where it's at.
You love Twitter now. I'm gonna convert him.
I suck at Twitter. Facebook is definitely a better space for me. And I don't know why, but I feel like so I thought of this the other day. Twitter is where I tell you what I'm thinking. Facebook is where I tell you what I'm doing.
Twitter is ambivalent.
Instagram is
Facebook.
where I document things that I've done.
I like that. I've never thought about that way.
And I feel like Facebook's best for me because I'm willing to tell you what I'm doing, but I'm not always prone to just tweet everything that I'm thinking. So I feel like Facebook's the best space. Very
unique. Just yesterday, I had someone come up to me and like, "You're Tom Marshall, aren't you?" I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I never knew your last name.
Oh, Tom Marshall. I have the whitest name in America, Thomas Poet Marshall III.
The third. Fuck, I didn't know that.
Poet is in your name?
It's my name.
Shit.
My parents were not beatniks. My grandfather, that's his name. Poet.
R.I.P. Robert Williams.
Poets were the first pimps.
They certainly were. Someone came up to me. They're like, "You're Tom Marshall." And I'm like, "How the fuck do you know that?" My lady's been posting things on Facebook. She knew everything about me. She's like, "I know you fixed up your house. You got a French bulldog. You got a 5-month-old baby." I'm like, "Who the fuck are you?"
Straight.
And I'm like, I was upset. And Facebook, that's why I hate
Twitter.
Facebook.
That's why I'm not good at Twitter because I can't tell you everything I'm thinking, and I'm always I have two small kids, so your thoughts are kid centric, and I don't.
I lose so many followers on Twitter because I say the word cunt all the time. I go like I'm like 400. Now we're going back up, back
Cunt's
down.
a good word for me. Like I'm just cunt isn't offensive.
It's
just a.
It's
cunt.
maple syrup on the pancakes of my life.
I don't understand how you can call somebody a bitch, but not a cunt.
I use it sparingly.
Thick
like
and
when
rich.
I use it, it's for very.
You know why I
very
don't like
cunty
that?
reason. Like, you have to really have
You know
earned
why I
that.
don't like that though?
Bone marrow.
That's
It's
so
intricate.
American. That's a thing where
No, you gotta use
motherfuckers
it,
will
man.
just take some shit and be like, "All right, this is what that means. This is how negative that is." People call people bitches all day. I've been in fucking groups of my friends. We've called each other nigga all day, and you tell me I say the word cunt on the internet. I say the word moist on stage.
See, they
and that's the line.
They take all the fun words to say though. That's what's fucked up about it is that like they are phonetically like they are fun words like monkey and bamboozle. Like
monkey, no. Monkey, I can't fuck with.
That has
but monkey
yeah,
has
there's so many
larger
fun
negative
words to
connotation
say,
in that regard.
and you can't say them, and that's what pisses me off because it's like.
But I can understand monkey. There
bulbous
are
buffon. Like,
visual
you know?
depictions of where monkey was used to oppress. I get that.
Yeah.
Who's been oppressed by cunt? Who's gone into a job interview and been like,
women,
"You have
maybe?
cunt on your resume"? Yeah, Sarah, we were
Qualified
thinking about
cunts.
hiring you, but here at the bottom it has cunt. You were a cunt from 08 to 09. Can you tell us about that?
Buzzy,
Like,
you
no,
keeping
that
the track of how many times we said cunt? I want to track.
That's good. I want to put that back into it. Let me tell you something.
Oh, it's such a wonderful word.
If I was like, if Day and I were arguing, like, shut up, bitch, and we was joking, it would be okay. If me and my girl were arguing and I said, shut up, bitch, I got to move out. And I don't understand. I mean it the same way. Like, it's fucked up.
Once again, gentlemen, I'm going to interject. We're using the bad words. Let's get into it. Gay, faggot. Look at
faggot more than gay. Gay is not terrible. Faggot's not cool.
What you're talking
that's never.
It scorches my skin.
I agree, but all
again,
I'm trying to say
there
is
is
connotation, just like you said.
But there's a historic story behind faggot where there was physical action. Like they were throwing faggots in the fire. Dude, when you say faggot, it's much more incendiary than cunt. What is a cunt?
I do love Louis C.K.'s little sketch about that. He's like, man, that faggot really made the shit on my coffee this morning.
Right, but a cunt is just somebody you don't like.
Cunt? Oh my God.
No. Absolutely. Like, look at the way the word gay changed from happy to this to that, and then
Flintstones will have
jelly
a gay
on the
old
toast.
time. Nobody knows that gay means happy.
Not even that. Like faggot in the 90s used to mean just like, oh, that's dumb.
What else?
That's stupid.
Nah, but again,
British
with faggot,
106.
the actual term is so more
hatred.
incendiary. Like there's so much more hatred behind the term.
It's acerbic, is what it is.
Yeah, I can't necessarily say that for faggot. Gay, yes, I will say gay is a weird term for happy. I don't even before I knew what gay was, I would never say it meant happy.
Like Flintstones,
I'm gay. Like that just seems, you know what I mean? But maybe it's because I was, I don't know. But gay, like I could walk up to someone who's homosexual and say they're gay, and I don't think they would be offended. But if I called him a faggot, like now we got to fight, and the worst thing you could ever do in your life.
Well, I think he's saying like in the like, that's gay to mean that's bad type thing. And I get that part, like like you trying to say like that's gay, mean that's bad is a different than like
that's different.
You're gay,
but like this video game, like Mortal Kombat.
This video game is gay.
You know what I mean? It's
stupid.
It's dumb.
That's one of those weird things where you say it, and it just
say
depends on who you're around. Because I'm around some people like, yo, this motherfucker acting gay. Like they won't feel any type of way. You gay or something? They won't feel no type of way. But then I understand where you can't say that. That's fine.
Well, no. I'm talking about like
I think it's all connotation and meaning. Straight up, how you use it, how you do it.
Nope, because I feel like there are certain words that have just been deemed negative. Like cunt is a word that has been deemed negative. What is a cunt? Define cunt.
Yeah, it's a made
bitch
up word.
It's a bitch.
It's a bitch.
That's what a cunt is.
With plus asshole plus just everything.
So cunt is a negative thing.
It's
There's
a negative
no racial thing. There's nothing misogynistic about it. Yeah, but it's just a word that has been deemed negative.
I think it has misogynistic connotation.
I don't know the history of cunt though.
Yeah, no.
How come
it
Peter
has misogynistic
Dinklage can say cunt and I can't? That's what I want to know.
But for me, when it comes to words, like I am not going to use any word to describe you that you do not wish me to use to describe you. It's just there's so many fucking words in the dictionary.
That
That's just not what I'm going to do.
use the word that I feel best describes you.
And that's what I'm saying.
But I've been told that cunt can only be used on the most vile of people. But you might have just been being a cunt today, and I don't want to call people. I've never called a person a cunt.
I guess nobody wants to be called cunt.
But I just think it's weird that cunt is
Call
a word
me now.
that you can't use.
Say it
you know
now.
what I mean? Like it has no historical, unless I may not be aware of it, but it just seems like a word that has no historical context. It just seems like a word that's meant to be used for people that you view in a negative light.
If given the fact that it is a highly incendiary word, just like many words are. If I use it, I know that there may be some sort of backlash that I need to deal with, and I'm going to stick by.
But I'm using it at a person that I want that backlash. I'm about that action with you.
If you're willing to, if you're willing,
you a cunt. Like I don't.
Trump is a cunt.
Seriously, you have no idea. I came here to talk about just the word cunt. I set you guys up. That's all I wanted to talk about the whole
Tom
time.
Poe wins.
Oh, well, you've been on it too many times.
Genius.
Like,
I
there's
love
no
it.
linear focus.
I know,
Like,
it's terrible.
we just had a podcast of 4 people talking about shit.
Yeah.
It's
Life.
like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Because I like to just talk about shit.
We just had a
So
bunch
for
of-
all the
we had a
listeners
bunch
who
of
have been
fucking
with
beer.
us and all the listeners who are new, Day and I have never actually called anyone a cunt on the podcast.
Thank you.
We're not pro the word.
No.
We are pro conversation on
Yeah.
all things because all things can be discussed.
everything goes a little left sometimes, and it should.
don't think it was
Very
left.
real.
I just think it was a very. I think it was just open. I'm
No.
still not
I mean,
calling it.
when I say left, I mean we go into conversation that is not normal.
Well, we covered what they were doing. We covered exactly what they were doing, and we support what they're doing as far as the Living Color and the investment back in the small business / entrepreneurship / artistry.
Listen,
That was my tie back because we had to bring it back.
I feel you. I think that
We're just circling.
I think that people should take conversations other places more often, and we could have more of this because
without question.
the superficial bullshit. I mean, we've had enough of that. Like
So
shit
what
is
we're
real.
What we're gonna do is I'm gonna go break the seal because Day just tried to pull his headphones off and I stopped him. Said it first. Day's got to close the cast.
Tom, tell us where they can find you.
Oh, jeez, man. FullPintBrewing.com.
Yeah.
Full Pint Brewing on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the same thing. Man, jeez. Find us down at Wildside Pub.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's where you can find me personally there all the time.
Yeah.
Come visit Tom.
Come visit me.
Word.
I want to come and
Dude.
talk to you about many, many things.
You've heard Tom tonight. He
Come-
wants to see you after 11.
Come and see us at the brewery. The brewery it's a quote, Ed, in the cut.
In the cut.
As he
it is in the
so
cut.
eloquently said it the other day. He's like, man, I forgot how much you were in the cut. He came to pick up the barrel.
Yeah, it's in the cut.
is
Wildside is
Wildside's
right there.
in, it's very, it's in the thick of things.
In the thick of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
But while
Our brewery
the
tours
brewery,
with Tom.
I'm telling you, the after hours. There's always that one story you get from a brewer about some type of grain bag coitus. Everyone's like, because it's soft and billowy. I'm like, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
I don't want to associate that with my beverage. I don't want to. Ugh.
I have a question. I guess this will be the wrap up question or whatever for both of you. Tell us one of your favorite beers and why.
You start with that. You're the
I need a minute.
I totally deferred.
We can edit this.
My
Point at
favorite.
each other off screen if you want.
My favorite beer of all time is Dark Horse Plead the Fifth.
Dark Horse Plead the Fifth. What is
Have
that?
you had it before?
I
Oh,
believe so.
it is magic in a bottle. It is a fucking 11+%
Yeah.
Imperial Stout. It is so good. It is complex and easy to drink. It's the crushable 11,
Imperial
if you
Stout.
will.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is amazing. I don't think people talk about it enough. I don't think people drink it enough. You guys don't even know what it is.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it is so good.
Yeah.
I
I
love
is
it.
it anything like Dragon's Milk? I love
Dragon's Milk, I don't know. To me, the barrel aged thing is good, but the whole idea behind like the Plead the Fifth is that it's a part of a series of stouts. They do a cream stout, smoked stout, an oatmeal stout, not in this order, mind you, a blueberry stout, and then they do the Imperial. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pleading the fifth. And that beer is just fucking everything to me. I mean, it's so good. I can't say anything bad about it.
That's the one.
Every
that's the one
year
that goes
you
to.
have it, it's just as good.
Wow.
Complex, dark fruits, malty, roast, everything. Drink some
Put that on the list.
today.
I gotta put that on the list.
I just
All
came
right,
back
all
from
right,
I
all
don't know what the fuck's happening.
What's your favorite drink?
I'm going to straight up betray you hardcore right now, Tom. Because we're talking
Get it.
about Living Color is my favorite beer because it supports Redfish Bowl.
That's the one.
No, I love it, but I will say, I don't know how the fuck Green Flash does it. But West Coast, that high percent beers that I can slam and get fucked off real quick from.
Hey man, a
Green Flash
crushable 8.
nailed it.
That is
Yeah,
We were talking about that crushable 11 a few
And I'll
seconds
put
ago.
Victory, Dirt Wolf, Living Color, like that's up there. That's all
a
up there.
crushable 8 is every man's dream. Like I don't have to treat you like a 10.
You just
What about you?
You just plugged for
My
me,
favorite
and I
drink in
betrayed
life?
myself.
Just in general.
Or in life is gonna be Hennessy and apple juice. Like that's my favorite.
Did I hear a laugh out in the distance?
I don't know. Like that's never ever gonna change. I'm trying to think about my favorite.
Are we talking like Mott's? Or are we talking like straight, like unfiltered press?
Actually, Simply Apple.
Simply Apple.
Simply
delicious.
Apple. Simply makes some of the best juices. I don't
Unbelievable.
even know if they're fucking great. And then that Simply Apple with some Hennessy. Oh my God, it's like it's heaven in a glass. But
They don't know how to do it. They keep it simple.
I'm trying to think of my favorite beer. It's hard for me to identify my favorite.
You don't
beer.
need to give beer.
I
mean, that
well,
to
I
me,
have to.
like,
It's a craft beer podcast, so everybody
Sure.
knows a little Hennessy. I will say this: a good IPA will be my go-to most times because I feel like
what type of IPA? Do you mean like a
Probably a
bitter,
Living Color.
malty? Are we talking light malt, heavy bitterness? Like, are we
Not
talking
heavy.
citrusy?
not heavy on the bitter. I
Aromatic?
can trend more to citrus or hops than anything
Okay.
else.
Those New England styles are
Just to let me know
Yeasty,
that it's a beer.
yeah.
But it's to me an
Like those
IPA.
kind of they kind of wreck your palate in a different way. Like that yeast kind of bogs down your palate. We're to the point where I can't get as much out of it. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's so juicy." If I hear that one word one time, like that is what's scrawled across a girl's butt in like the mid 2000s. Juicy. Like fucking, I'm like, I don't think about IPAs as being juicy.
I don't think about them as being juicy. What I think it's a good
Buzzy loves
baseline
juicy
for an
beers.
individual who's not
pause.
super indoctrinated to the craft industry, wants to get introduced.
Are you mixing those together?
Or you're just out and want to have a craft and not just have a shitty like mass produced beer. I think IPAs are very safe. And I'm still in the safe zone.
Honestly,
I can't get out of the safe zone.
I
for
get
a
you with that
favorite.
one.
I'll go IPA. Like if I'm just out chilling with some friends and I'm like, I don't want to get liquor drunk. Like I don't want to be taking shots.
Yeah.
But I'm not trying to just be spending my money to go home.
Yeah.
So like I want this drive to be slightly illegal.
Yeah.
That's
Right on the
that's
line.
pretty much
War-torn line.
where you are when you're drinking craft. Like I want this shit to kind of be illegal.
So we're circling back now. What about you?
Oh, my favorite beer.
Living Color.
That's right. I love that beer.
I'm gonna fuck these flaming hots.
Hundo.
Up. He don't even know. I'm fucking these flaming hots up.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm a real big fan of Hundo. Just like the history behind it, all of it. I mean, everything. It's one of those things that I'm going to tell my grandchildren about. You know what I mean? Like, so there's that. And I'm gonna be like 100% honest. Like, I started drinking craft brew. Like really kind of getting into it about like 4 years ago, and like one of the first like 12 packs like cases that I got was like full pint, and it had the variety, and it had that perky bus, and I was like, this is.
When you tweeted that was touching. I was like, man, that is
so
like
fun.
that
Like,
is
this
so cool.
This is the best
hear
beer
that.
in the world. Like, have you tasted it? It tastes like coffee. Like this is crazy. Like this, yeah,
I mean, that's the reason why these guys get into that shit, and like to hear that coming back.
Yeah, like, and to have
It's validation.
Yeah, to have to now be like, like to have a beer named out like with that that brewery. It's crazy, man. Because I was just getting into comedy around the same time, and like it, with the Hundo, like it's just everything just lined up, man. So we appreciate you guys.
We definitely
and
appreciate.
I
that.
appreciate you. I mean, honestly, thank you again for having me. Thank you for mentioning us, talking about us, having us on
you
here.
guys are the shit.
Yeah, you've been
I
supportive.
appreciate
from
you
the
guys
gate, man.
very,
That's
very
definitely
much.
true. We are the shit.
So have we gotten their social medias?
We've got our social
got
media.
that
So we
Social
got to
media.
let the people know where to find us, Day.
If you're looking for us, you can find us on epiccastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners.
Hey, listen, thank you to our guests. We had Tom from Full Pint. We had Chris from wherever the fuck Chris is from, because we want him to kind of still have his job, but not necessarily.
Let's go.
We are not
Redfish
100%
Bowl.
We're not 100% sure if we want him to work or not. But we appreciate you coming out.
For
and
your
hanging out
children.
with us. As always,
For your children.
if you've been listening to 101 episodes, you know the slogan: Drinking Partners is the crew, Epicast is the family, and we out of here.